What is up, YouTube? It's Tracy, aka Little Jitsu again, here to answer the age-old question of how long does it take to get your blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? The coach's answer is just keep training and you'll get it when you deserve it. But none of you came here and clicked this video for that answer, okay? So, in my experience as a coach and as a student, the average time it takes to get a blue belt when training jiu-jitsu is 1.5 to 2 years. And that's training like 3 times a week, somewhere around there. Now, you gotta also consider what your goals are as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, right? Are you training to be a world champion? Because maybe you'll get promoted quicker because you're on the mats way more. Maybe you're just there for fun, self-defense, and making friends. In that case, maybe you're not training as consistently and it'll take longer. Or you've moved a lot, you've switched gyms, and you just haven't been consistent in one place long enough to get promoted at that area, right? There are hundreds of different scenarios that could happen when a coach is making the decision whether or not to promote you to blue belt. Now, truthfully, it really doesn't matter. As long as you're training, you're getting better. The belts are just there as basically like mile markers. They're there to help you with your goal setting. They're there to help others see, whether or not they can trust you in the gym as far as giving instructions and things like that. And they're there for competition. Ultimately, the more you train, the more you roll, the better you're going to get at jiu-jitsu. Just stay consistent and you will get your blue belt, right? Try and stay consistent in one area and you'll get it faster. The more you train, the sooner you're going to get your belt. Now, I will say, guys, it is not a good idea to ask your coach,
when am I getting promoted?
That's just a taboo thing to do, and getting promoted shouldn't matter that much to you. It should be improving as a jiu-jitsu practitioner. That being said, if you're really curious and want some direction in your jiu-jitsu journey and want to get your blue belt as soon as humanly possible, instead of asking your coach, when am I getting promoted, being obnoxious like that, ask your coach, what does it take to become a blue belt? That way, your coach, whoever they are, right, they have their different standards when promoting people, are going to be able to provide you with more clear instructions and standards that they look at when promoting to blue belt. That'll help you focus your efforts in a specific way and hopefully get the most out of your training. Also, guys, keep in mind, there's nothing wrong with being a hobbyist or, not training to compete all the time. But if you do want to get your belt sooner, show up more, train more, and don't just go through the motions, right? When you go, actively pay attention to what's being taught, the principles behind each movement, and when you roll, pick certain things to work on. That way you're constantly improving in your rounds rather than just focusing on something that you're already good at. Personally, I started jiu-jitsu in June of 2015, and I was training 3 times a week. My gym only had 4 night classes a week. That's it. When I signed up, it was a pretty new gym. Taking one day off because it conflicted with some other hobbies that I had, right? Now, I trained consistently 3 times a week for basically 8 months, and then I took a 2.5 month break to go on a vacation, a road trip with some friends of my brother, which ultimately, obviously, during that time, I couldn't train jiu-jitsu. Fast forward through the road trip, and I get back, I start jiu-jitsu the second I get back from the road trip. So it was 8 months of training, 2.5 month break. And then I trained for 6 months and got my blue belt in November of 2017. Took me time-wise, it took me about 1 year and 8 months. But jiu-jitsu training-wise, consistency-wise, it took me about 1.5 years. So I think that's pretty normal for someone that's not, taking jiu-jitsu seriously as like a life goal or passion. When I started, it was just for fun. I enjoyed wrestling. I enjoyed learning self-defense, learning the skills, hanging out with people. But I wasn't, at that time in my life, making it a life's work. It wasn't my sole passion in life. I had other goals. Things changed when I got my blue belt. I started to amp up the intensity, train more. And as a blue belt, I trained probably 5 or 6 times a week, and then 2-a-days on a lot of those. So definitely my goals changed with jiu-jitsu, but from white to blue, just training 3 times a week as like a hobbyist took me about 1.5 years of consistent training. So that's reasonable for you guys as well. Hopefully that answers your question, guys. If this is valuable, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and if you want to see more videos the second that I post them, hit the bell notification as well. I really appreciate you guys watching, clicking the videos, supporting the channel. If you guys have any suggestions, drop them off in the comments below. And also, if you have your blue belt or, higher than that, put in the comments how long it took you to get yours and how often you're in training. Just for research sake. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay consistent. Go train.